Kumi. Ooh, yeah. So good. You came and you drifted so hard. How does it sound, everybody? Any better? Grid shifters. Cool. Can you hear me before I start? Perfect. I think I've cracked the grifting code. I've been learning, guys. I've been learning about travel routers. It's all a bit technical for me, but apparently if I get a travel router, I can steal everyone's internet, basically. No, it's not quite that, but I can ensure that my internet is stable. Haven't got one yet. It's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? You didn't expect this, did you? But there's only 13 of you, so it's not quite. Oh, actually, sorry, that's my ego. You're not even talking about me, are you? You're talking about like the state of UK or something like that, probably. Ooh, okay, let me just. I've literally just woke up, so. So I think I've cracked the code for life, by which, of course, I mean grifting. I'm joking. I've cracked the code for life, for my life, currently, right now. So I've realised that if one doesn't smoke green herbs, the evenings are, well, pointless. The word purgatory comes up, but that's way too strong. It's definitely not purgatory, but they're just the worst part of the day. You know, I love the light. I love being outside. So it seems to me that if I'm not smoking, I might as well go to bed at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Earlier the better, really, as soon as it goes dark. But of course, that means I wake up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But that then opens up, well, one possibility for two reasons. It means, very well said, welcome, welcome, please do like. It means that I can live stream when I wake up in the morning, which is kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know. We'll work out if that's cool. But so obviously it hits the UK in the evening time, much better. It means Sophie can join us and figure herself off through the live. And it also means that everybody else that uses the internet is fucking off in La La Land, doesn't it? So the internet is all mine. So it should. I mean, honestly, like when I test the internet here, it's really good. I've just tested it. It's on 54 megabytes download and like 24 or 30 something upload. That's really good. The issue is, you know, it's used by many people, but not at fucking 3 in the morning. Ugh. So this could be the new way. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. But it feels good. Definitely going to bed early feels good. Because what do you do in the evening? Like, you know, I'm not saying that when I was smoking green herbs that the evenings were joyful, but you know, it just makes doing nothing semi-bearable. But you know, I spend so much time being present doing nothing now. I'd rather do it when it's light. Like, why would I do it in the dark? I don't want anything to do with the darkness. I'm done with it. I spent so long in the darkness. And oh my gun. Oops. YouTube, sorry. And of course, that's both metaphorical and physical. And the two do go hand in hand. Like when I had the awful moderator, Pete, who was just agony. It's like, it's this whole personality thing. Like people think they're just born a certain way. He was like, I'm a night owl. And I was like, you mean you're traumatized and you're scared of the light? No, no, no. I'm just a night owl. Like, no consciousness, never even questioned why he couldn't function in the day and why he stayed up in the dark. It's like, obviously, no, that's like, that's resistance, that's darkness, that's the demon within you. No concept of it. Wouldn't even talk to me about it. And yet he thought we were friends. He thought because he had my WhatsApp number and he was my moderator, we could be friends, but he couldn't even have a conversation like that. I was just like, what are you doing? Why? No. Don't be so silly. It all fell apart shortly after that. Who have we got? We've got Don McCarthy's music. We've got the former Blind Eye Opener is now the Grid Shifters and is a moderator, so demons will be called. Have no mercy. So it's just libtards and demons, yeah? We've got ever long-time supporter Mickey Mouse. Get it sticky with it, I'm guaranteed £3. Actually, usually a fiver. Oof, that's not good for my posture. No, that's not good at all. We can't be having the neck down anymore. So in my last bodywork session, I mean, none of you watch them anyway, but, I'll still talk as if you do because it's, the strongest healing that I've come up with. How can you say, man? Like, obviously, ayahuasca was pretty massive. But, it's just been unbelievable. Like, honestly, when I went to see this woman, like, I had an understanding of body work and trauma in the body and all that, but I realized now it was intellectual. Like, I've been gobsmacked. Just gobsmacked. Anyway, in the last session, which you haven't seen yet, theoretically, she taught me how to walk. She's taught me how to walk. And, yeah, let me just... Yeah, so this is an issue. Can't be fucking neck hanging anymore. What the hell are you talking about, Jimmy Coco Pop? Good question. I thought she'd have jizzed all over the screen by now. Oh my god, because I'm not a fucking moron. I'm all for numbing out. I numbed out for many years, but I'm not numbing out anymore. I'm conscious. I'd rather meditate than game. So stuff like that just doesn't satisfy me anymore. Like it's just of a very low vibration. And I'm not judging it. I'm just stating what it is. I mean, this guy that I work with, this guy who's changed my life, which is the bodyworker's partner, he's a gamer. So I'm really and he's like along with Liam the Peyote Shaman, he's right up there. I don't think I've mentioned him to you guys yet. So I'm not totally poo-pooing it, but for me, it's absolute non-starter. Wow, thank you so much, Mickey Mouse. Wow, that's great, man. Great to have you with us, Mickey. Why can't I get it on the screen? Towards things. That goes a long way towards things out here. I mean, honestly, mate, now I'm not smoking. I mean, okay, this is amazing. But if I wasn't leaving Vietnam soon, I wouldn't be living in here. I would be living in this area, but I'd be renting a big fuck-off house. And it's my plan to do my first, maybe not my first, but my first ever decent attempt at a travel vlogger video that isn't really related to my channel or so obviously there's still my everyday videos that are just my life. But I'm going to try and do honestly, right, you can rent, not this particular one, but basically this for £70 a month. No, hang on, that can't be right. Maybe I'm wrong actually. Maybe it's a bit more than that. Let's say £150 a month. It's between 70 and 150 pounds a month. I'm sure he said 1.2 million for a month for one of the smaller ones, which is 70 pounds. But obviously it's amazing, like forest, nature. But this whole area I'm in is like that. You can live in houses like that. So I would rent a luxury house for £400 a month in the same area if it was long term. But honestly, right now living in this hut, so this hut, because so that's the issue actually. I'm actually paying the same for this hut as I would for a luxury house because it's only for a few days, which obviously is understandable. They give discounts on long-term rents, obviously. What the fuck are you doing up, buff? I was expecting you to be fast asleep, my man. Nice to have you with us. Anyway, so everything I'm saying doesn't really make sense because I'm realizing, like, oh shit, actually, I am paying the same amount for this. But basically, it's still 12 quid a night. Who gives a fuck? So now that I don't smoke, honestly, 20 quid is like my day. 12 quid on accommodation. It's fucking challenging to spend 8 quid a day on food out here. I make my own coffees because I prefer them. I can't think what else I spend money on. I mean, I suppose visas, flights, bike crashes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This is honestly, this is unfucking believable. I haven't worked out why it happened yet because everything's synchronized, obviously. So, bodywork session number 6. I learned how to walk. Fairly profound to learn how to walk at the age of 40. And like she's like, so I realized like every muscle in my body has just been like this, well, since I was a child. Maybe not every muscle, but you know, basically. And my feet particularly, like my feet, like whenever I try doing cat-cow, like basic yoga moves, my feet get cramped, and it's because my muscles are like this. I now realize. Anyway, she's on this last, like, so the first time she basically uses, I call it the dagger on my feet, and you know, it was just agony because, you know, I don't think, I mean, it is this, but it's also they've got knots in them. So it's agony when she's running this dagger up and down. Anyway, yesterday she's doing it and I barely feel a thing. So like my ankles are healing, my feet are healing, everything's healing. And then on the way home, so I've got an hour drive, just unbelievable, man. I mean, it is partly because I'm driving a shit scooter, which is a whole nother fucking crazy mistake. Lesson 867 from the idiot above. Just unbelievable, just unbelievable. I'm driving down a straight road, and I drive by their rules. Like this isn't even, you know, I accept it's batshit crazy out here and completely opposite, and I actually prefer it on the whole, driving wise. Well, everything wise. And so I'm just driving down my side of the road. Now it's very normal for them to drive on the wrong side of the road, like on the far bit. It's very normal. So my bike is shit. I've got to take that into account. So I don't really like slamming. Well, slamming your brakes on any bike is a death mission, but particularly on a shit one. I'm driving down and this guy's coming towards me on his side of the road, no problem. And suddenly he goes, and his intention, well, he does. He's fine. Nothing happens to him. So his intention is, well, not to cut me off, but I just don't think he even considers that because it's just, you know, it's just not even a thing out here. And then to drive along this bit of a road, just because he doesn't want to wait and turn like that. Like any normal fucking, you know, person would. So I have two options. I can either slam my brakes on or slam into him. So I slam my brakes on. Now, anyone who's driven a scooter, especially a shit one, knows that if you slam your brakes on, it's basically game over. I mean, I don't know about a really good quality one. I think it might be okay. But even then, you don't ever want to slam your brakes on. Like, you want to, like, caress them. So what happens when you slam your brakes on? The wheels stop turning and you start skidding, and then you start doing this. And the only way to stop this is to let go of your brakes. So this is all from obviously everything I'm saying here is from someone who's driven a scooter for 2 years. You know, somebody else might tell you something different, who's more experienced. Well, I can't let go of my brakes, otherwise I'm going to kill him, and maybe me, more importantly. So I just have to take one for the team, man. And I end up like, so my ankle's just been sorted out. I end up on the floor with the bike on my fucking ankle. It was just unbelievable. And then, of course, not him. He just stops and has a cigarette and starts laughing. Not like but just, you know, just doesn't even recognize what's happened. I mean, I think for them it's nothing. Like, you know, they're used to. I mean, they're very rare to come off their bikes because they're very experienced. But, you know, they've been on these bikes since they were fucking 6 months old, or fucking since the day they were born. So I just don't think he sees it as a big deal. Anyway, so one silly person. I mean, very, you know, straight away people are there to help. But someone, you know, doesn't really think about it, and they start lifting the right. So I've got my big bag strapped to the back of the bike. So the bike's heavy. I've just had the tank filled up. You know, it's as heavy as it can be, really. And he gets the handlebars and starts lifting. So obviously, what that does is it puts the bike like this right on my ankle, and he can't lift it, so he's just smashing my ankle. So I'm like, fuck. I can't move. I'm trapped under the bag. And then luckily, there was a Westerner there who, you know, well, I won't say it, but you should be able to work out. And then, so he saw what was going on and went round to the back of the bike and lifted from the back while the other guy lifted from the front. And you know what? It's fine. I iced it. It's okay. But just incredible. Just incredible. And the fact that it happened right after his bodywork session, it's like, what the fuck is that all about? I mean, maybe it's just a lesson, but I'd already worked this out. It might just be a lesson in self-care, i.e., don't try and save £15 a month on bike hire and get a shit bike, because it's actually ended up costing you £360. Have I even told you about that yet? Oh, I don't think you guys know about the car crash yet, do you? I'm going to release those videos in 2 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days. But basically, I went into the back of someone because of his shit bike, and I had to pay £360 for a new bumper. So I saved £30 on bike hire. It cost me £36. It cost me £360 on a bumper. And basically, you know, just risking my life for 2 months, essentially. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Not worth it. Grand risings indeed. Oh my God, I've just dreamt. I dream about this community centre all the time. It's mental. So that reminds me of the community centre that I used to run. It wasn't a community centre. It was a shadow work centre. It was amazing, but we'll just call it a community centre. And we all used to be like, grand risings, grand risings, grand risings. I dream about it all the time, and it's always the same dream, is me getting it back. So I lost it. And but it's mad because I don't want it back. I couldn't think of anything worse than running that place. Or, you know, I can't run that place, especially Tom now. There's no way I can run that place. I'm way too honest. I'm way too real. Like, because obviously you've got to be even supposedly conscious. So it works now. It failed for me. Well, I got it to a point where it ticked over because everyone was scared shitless of obviously shadow work and me. And even more so my business partner, fuck me. So the ones that got it, fucking got it, but it wasn't enough for it to be a successful business. The people I passed it on to, but it ticked over, you know. Actually, you know, the night before the council came and switched it over, I had £5 in the bank for the first time. You know, I kind of thought I'd made it, but by made it, it was just surviving. It wasn't like ever going to be a flourishing business under me. And then the council came and shut it down and yada yada yada. But so I passed it on to someone for 10 grand, and they've made a success out of it. I think, by all accounts, it looks like a success. I mean, I don't look anymore. I think they made a success of it. But of course, it's just a love and light shit show. It's the sort of place Sophie would go and they'd be like, "You're such an empowered, feminine, divine sorceress." So anyway, I have this reoccurring dream where I get it back. And it usually looks like, sometimes it looks like the owners contacting me and giving it me back. And I don't think it does. I think it looks like this every time. But I walk in one day and they're just not there. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. But this one was even, and I'd start running it again, which is just ridiculous because I don't want to. No one would want me there. I mean, it was just a total disaster. From a business point of view, it was, the most incredible shadow work experience of my life, running that place. But it was even new levels tonight of like celebrating getting it back, where my business partner at the time, in this dream, he's dancing around going, "We've got our home back. Because we all live there. We've got our home back. We've got our home back." Like, what the fuck's that all about? I don't, because honestly, if they rang me up tomorrow and said, "Do you want to come back to the UK and run this place?" Forget the UK. We're putting this thing in Vietnam somehow. We're teleporting it to Vietnam or even Bali or anything. Do you want to run it? I'd be like, hell no, bitch. I'm a free spirit YouTuber. Like, I can speak my mind almost, apart from, the whole YouTube thing. I'm free. Like, why would I want to do that? Don't be so stupid. Why would I want to have to deal with plebs again and have to water myself down for the business? Like, no, hell no. It would be like a punishment. But I have this dream all the time. What do you make of that? So I'm hoping, and we are, seeing lots of new faces in the chat because it's the evening, which is great. So I've got some really bad news, guys. I've had to retire the word. I learned, I mean, I was aware that it probably affected things a little bit. But when I changed the name of this channel to the English R word that's on the screen now, not English, sorry, the enlightened R word. So since then, my impressions, which is how many people see my videos, has gone down by 75%. So I've realized how detrimental that word is. Obviously, I think it's more so when you actually put it in your channel name. But yeah, I'm gonna try and stop saying it because it's just handicapping, my reach. So I don't know if I fully explained this. Yeah, I have explained this. So I'm now going to bed at 8, 9 p.m. And I think that's just going to, actually, tonight was 10 p.m. So I've only actually had about 4.5 hours sleep. But I'm going to make that the norm now that I live in silence and I can choose like when I go to sleep, when I get up. I don't have to do it around city rats or builders. It's just such a joy. It's such a joy. So last night I'm like listening to probably Stoic Journal or something like that at 8 p.m. But I'm just like, I'd rather go to bed. Just, I'm done. So yeah, that's going to be the new way. Bed at 8 p.m. And then it's going to be a 2 a.m. rising, isn't it? But then but what I hadn't considered, so when I was first hatching this plan, I was like, what do I do at 2, 3 a.m. until it gets live? But I hadn't considered live streaming. And then the added bonus is that no one else is using the internet. Like, it's just a joy. It's just all perfect. Yeah, exactly. This is it. And thank you for your honesty. So without, yeah, even with smoking ganja, I'd got past this. If I wasn't bombarded by noise. But when I was in a concrete bunker, when I was bombarded by noise, I would have YouTube on my TV and I would have X on my phone, just anything to numb it out, just horrendous. And I'm not criticizing you. Like, surviving is good. Like, whatever you need to do to survive is good. I'm just speaking from my perspective. Having done 10 years shadow work, you'd hope that you weren't just surviving. But I was when it came to being bombarded by noise. It put me in survival mode. When I moved to a forest and I was, still getting attacked by noise at weekends, but it was nothing like the concrete bunker. Right? So basically, I haven't doom scrolled since I moved to a forest. But yeah, like this is it. The evenings are no good. I love the day. I love the morning. I love the sun rising. I love when the birds start singing. I love seeing the mists over the mountains. Like, I mean, it's just magical. So why not just fully experience that and like literally see the sun rising every day like that? Just feels so healthy. Over So for me, it would be. I mean, I've got. I pretty. I bet. Yeah, I've got to a point now where I don't watch anything. You know, so the idea of watching Charlie Beach or the Lotus Eaters, the only person I watch that you have to watch is Jesse P. Watson because it's so magical, him and his horse. Like, it's such a shame not to watch it. But everything else, I can just listen to. So I basically, unless I'm doing a live stream or not writing a YouTube description, but doing that sort of thing. I don't write YouTube descriptions, obviously. I get AI to do that. It's boring as fuck. That's the only time I look at a screen now. It's this fucking laptop. In fact, can I turn it down a bit? Oh, that's better. So I've got. If I cover that up, you can't see me, can you? No. Oh, you can. I've got this horrible fucking white light shining in my face. Like, what the fuck is that? One minute, guys. I don't know if I can fucking cope with that white light shining in my face. Well, presumably, obviously, it must be there. Well, you know, I was going to say it must be there for a reason, but the reason is probably just to F you up. Because they like doing that, haven't they? Have you noticed? So if I do that, can I get some feedback? Has anything changed? Let me know because I'm about to fucking put black tape over it. So if it's a big bad one, has anything changed? At least the stream is clear tonight. Oh, I really wish you could. Nothing has changed. Thank you so much. Debbie, oh, it's just so good having a competent person in the chat. Thank you so much. Even my moderator can't answer my questions. It's okay, grid shifters. Let's fucking sort you out, you horrible fucking... Ugh, disgusting. Absolutely vile. Why would you design anything with a fucking white light shining in someone's face? But have you noticed that even like chargers have blue lights on now, and speakers and flashing lights on, everything's got a fucking flashing light, man. Have you had to cull any demons yet, good shifters? It doesn't look like it. Looks like we go. Oh, here she is, frigging away. How wet are you, Sophie? Where would I go? I like it at home. What are you talking about? She's so busy frigging, she can't even make sense. Oh, as in when people were asking where you were, maybe. Oh, Sophie, I've got so much affection for you. If you hadn't have had the vaccine, I might give you one. Just for the laugh. But you've had the vaccine, so it's not an option. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking Sin Tao 3, which is my favorite mainstream coffee out here. Of course, I often treat myself. Yeah, it's just whether I, you know, so I try and buy specialty coffee all the time, but sometimes I run out and haven't organized myself and just have to go to the Winmart, which is like the 7-Eleven, which is like the Spa, and get, you know, just a mainstream coffee. And I choose one called Sin Tao 3, which is 100% Arabica and is rather nice. But I've just bought myself a really nice one from the area that I'm in that's grown in this area. So I should actually be drinking that now, but I don't like to have two coffees open at once. So Sophie's in for the shindig. Fantastic. It's 3 a.m. here. Yeah, we've only been going for half an hour, Libby. Oh, great. It's just great, isn't it? What are you talking about? You're talking about green herbs. Oh man, like I am not here to poo-hoo green herbs at all. Like, you know, I think Sophie, for example, would benefit greatly from smoking some green herbs, assuming she never has. But when it gets to the point where you're just smoking it all day, every day to survive, or even every evening, I mean, obviously that's so much better. And not even, you know, I think if you're working a job, then having a smoke every night is probably, you know, the way to handle it. Ah, but when you are manifesting, generating, enlightened God, then perhaps not. I'm joking, guys. Half joking. It is good for us to acknowledge what we are, because we are all that if we do the work. And I'm not saying like I'm fully that. Of course, I'm still a oh, I really want to use the R word. I'm still a handicapped human. But oh my God, like the difference in the level of handicap, whether I'm smoking or not, is just insane, man. Insane. Yeah, it's not a massage. I mean, it's so much more than a massage. So, like, I look back now at, you know, like Shanti and Bali. I mean, it's not criticizing her. They're just, you know, they're just offering different things. And I thought that was healing, and it was. It was, but oh my God, like, it was never going to change my posture. I mean, honestly, my posture's changed. So, you know, people make comments about me being pregnant. Well, she said to me the other day on the third session, she goes, "You're not pregnant now." And basically, I'm not fat because it never made sense. You know, I'm so skinny. Like, look at my skinny little gay wrists. But yeah, I have this belly. And I've gone through all sorts of theories like gas, parasites, worms, gluten, which I think is an issue. I haven't eaten gluten for 5 days now just because I don't want, there's just no need for me to eat gluten anymore. Like, without the smoking, why would I eat gluten? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I've gone through all sorts of theories, but no, it was because I was fucking, my back was like this and my head was like this. I mean, it was just ridiculous, like, obviously. But again, it just shows you've got to experience to understand. Because you know, relative to the average human, I really do have a very basic, but relative to the average human, a good understanding of the body. And oh my God, I was telling myself all sorts of stupid stories. No, it was posture. It was contorted muscle, contracted muscles. And then if you go beyond that, it's why are they contracted? Oh, that's trauma, and that's all held in the nervous system. Like, this shit's massive. This shit is massive. So through working with this body worker and now her husband, who is the sort of person, like just incredible awakened man. You know, we've linked it all to my trauma. As in, like, we're not even fucking talking about the body anymore. Like, well, we are. It's just incredible. It's all together. It's all together. So this woman's incredible. Like, she's incredible. Like, the dedication she has put into herself and her healing. She can now pass that on to others. But yeah, it's definitely not a massage. It's a body work session. But you know, even within, so if you were to search for body workers in the UK, I'm sure you would find somebody who has her level of dedication and experience. But fuck me, it would be hard. So I went to her as a physio. You know, it was only 3, 4 weeks ago. I was asking my yoga instructor what to do about my effed up knee. And he was like, "Go and see a physio, obviously. Don't ask me." And so I was like, you know, being a proper normie about it. And I was just looking for a normie physio. And I thought that's what she was. Whoa, she cosmic. They're made in Vietnam. Vivo bare feet shoes are what I use. So both my boots and my shoes are this brand. They're made in Vietnam. Is that what you're trying to say? I doubt it. But yeah, that would be incredible. I haven't even tried to find them out here. I assumed it wouldn't be possible. I do need. Well, really, I need to replace both. Yeah. I mean, if money was no object, I would definitely replace both. But my shoes are literally. Well, I was going to say about to fall apart. They have fallen apart. But I'm still going to try and eke another 6 months out of them. But only because I assume I can't buy it anymore. If I could buy some more, I would actually buy some more tomorrow. Will you ever come back to Cambodia? Do you have an affiliation with Cambodia? I like to hold things lightly, so I don't really, other than my next country and like a few. So I have like a sort of list of countries in my head I want to see. And then I have this is the next country I'm going to, and that's about it. Cambodia isn't on either of those lists. But that doesn't mean no. I would imagine the answer is yes. I couldn't give a fuck. I mean, it's not going to exist. If you honestly think that's going to exist by the time that I'm 65 or whatever it is, or 69 now, I think it is, then you're jib jabbed. There's going to be no pensions in 10 years. I mean, my God, what world do you live in? Like, Agenda 2030, smart cities, one world government. Like, are you a normie? Like, what? You're still talking about pensions? You know, pensions might exist for about another 5 years, maybe. And how do you think the government's insolvent? Like, even if it wasn't satanic, even if it wasn't ran by the It's Them Every Time Club, even if they weren't implementing an AI one world government, they're bankrupt. They're giving out more to migrants than they're taking in tax. Like, how do you think how on just on an economic level, how do you think the pension's ever going to still exist? Like, how are you so dumb? How are you? It's not dumb because it's so obvious. What it is you can't accept the level of evil that you're living under. So you still tell yourself all these stories or believe their stories. Like, what the fuck? How are you on this channel? What's going on? How many of these did you take? Come on, let's hear it, Spec. Just honestly, please, let's not even talk about this satanic shit. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not pretend. Oh, what are we dealing with, Lee? What are we dealing with? Oh, I've made one a moderator. Ah! It's fine. Normie moderators are actually the best as moderators. I think because they take it really seriously and it strokes their ego. I think anyone like my last two moderators, like the one that sat up all night moderating all my videos. Like he'd send me texts like, "I've just done the 3 a.m. sweep. I've just done the 5 a.m. sweep." He made it his life. Whereas I don't think you're going to do that for me, Lee. I think anyone who currently believes in state pension is going to be available for energy harvesting, presumably. B, going to be needed. Is perhaps a little unaware. Oh, but the state pension is going to be available or is going to be needed. That's the second point, man. And that's, that's my lack of trust in, let's just call it the new world or where we're going or the awakening. To have not pointed that bit out myself. I still, probably look at it all too darkly and just see the dark side. But yeah, it's so true, man. Like, definitely not going to be available. And yeah, why would you need it once you're a flowing, high vibrating, enlightened being who is awakened? You don't need handouts, man. Unless you're the awakened brave, of course. He's very enlightened and completely free, but on benefits. Good. Don't get involved with the plebs, mate. I mean, do what you want. I will lose respect for you. Oh God. I mean, right, so just a good shifters, and I know Lee already knows this. These people don't need blocking. We don't block people just for being stupid. It's only demons and like full-on libtards. So obviously this is a libtard, but you know, they're just conditioned, they're not nasty. It's when they're like, you know, you need to take the jib jab, or just like hating. So this is allowed. It is really boring. It's really frustrating. It's so fucking low vibe. It's unbelievable. So this is why you'll never awaken. Like I don't want to look silly. You already look very silly, trust me. So this is the opposite of trust. This is fear. This is control. This is giving yourself away to something that you probably know is evil, and yet you're still like, oh please, evil ones, please, please, give me my handouts. No, like this is how we end up in fucking one world government. People like you. Aha, idiot. We will be very lucky. Oh, think about your neck. Don't let the plebs destroy your neck. I'm not saying you're a pleb. I think you're going to say something good, but it's just even talking about it makes me just want to give up on life. Not give up on life, give up on this. And go and dance in the forest. But it's not light enough yet, so I'll stick with it. I think I got 20 quid, so fuck me. Like and send more money, please. We will be very lucky if we get any pension. The way older people are living longer, less money in the pension pot. Oh, I just can't. It's too normal. I'm sorry. That's not the issue. I mean, that is the issue. That's one of many, many issues. But it's, you know, I think really if you're going to be talking on those sort of normie levels, low vibrational levels, then you're better off talking about the fact that they are handing out more in benefits than they're taking in tax right now. Well, of course you do, because you're a fucking normie. Like you don't get it. You're not meant to be here. Don't use the word tribe. You don't deserve to use the word tribe. You know, you're still watching the BBC. You shouldn't be here. Right, much more from this one, and I want it blocked. You know, there's no point people like this being here. There's just no point them being here. They're not going to learn anything. They don't want to learn anything. They're not open. They think that their understanding is a pinnacle. Yet they took this. They can't even accept that this was a mistake. So I think one more comment like this, and this one can be blocked. Woo! I don't know if you saw that. The whole screen went blue. I don't think you saw that. Good for you, man. Like, there's a part of me that's a little bit jealous, but it's the old patterned part of me. The let's just call it the ego, the trauma itself that still tells myself that story. When I'd been listening to stuff till about 7:30, I think, and being like, oh right, yeah, this is the word boring was coming up, which obviously isn't true. What that means is, oh, I can't face these emotions, even though I wasn't. It didn't feel like I was feeling any emotions, but that is what's happening. You know, there's emotions that want to be felt, and you know you're resisting it by watching YouTube, and you go into stories of boring. So I was like, right, let's go and get some food. Went out some food, and then when I was driving back, I thought I could smell smoky smoke, but it was just a plan. It wasn't like they don't. It's not a thing out here really. And I was like, if someone offered me some now, would I? And I came to a conclusion, no, because it just destroys me. So let me just touch upon that emotion feeling thing. So then I went to bed and I switched YouTube off. And I was just lying there and everything was fine. But I just noticed this story in my head of like, I'm bored, I can't do this. And then I was just like, what can't you do? Like, this is beautiful. You're just lying here in the forest. And the minute I said that, like, what felt like, and it's not strong, like, I'm talking very subtle levels now. Like, I noticed this subtle anxiety in my stomach, and I just like asked myself that question, like, why? Like, why is this a problem? What, like, even if the anxiety stays, Why is that a problem? Why don't I just what's wrong with anxiety? But the minute I did that, it just turned to joy and lightness. It's amazing how traumatized we are and conditioned we are to not feel, because it's not even that bad. Yet we're so terrified of it. It's amazing. Spike works a 60-hour week with 2 jobs, and my mate, who's had a heart attack, is better off than me. I don't think bad for him, but it can't be right. So I'm assuming it's something around he's getting benefits. Yeah, the benefit system is an absolute disgrace. However, I don't think people who have had heart attacks have a problem. So obviously I'm a great believer in having a welfare system for those that need it. But when it's, I mean, obviously the invaders is, giving anyone that's not of the lands money is treason. But then just the people of the lands, it's got ridiculous. Like where you can just go in and say, "I've got anxiety," and it's got absolutely ridiculous. But I don't begrudge someone who, if he genuinely, I mean, I don't. Does having a heart attack mean you can't work? Obviously, it's going to be different in different, depending on the severity. I don't begrudge someone like that. However, that's not even your point. Your point is that he earns more than you and you work 2 jobs. Yeah, that can't be right. That can't be right. Welfare should be set at an amount where you can survive, and maybe have one holiday a year, and maybe Sky TV. Like there should be survival plus a few treats. But they shouldn't be earning somebody. They should not be earning more than somebody who works 60 hours a week. Oof, I feel for you, man. There's no definites. There's no definites. Hold it all lightly. I mean, for me, this comes from fear. I don't think we're not in a simulation. We're in a beautiful cosmic God created paradise. But I used to believe that when I was in fear, shame, and guilt, because it's easier to believe that because then you don't have to take responsibility. And then it's just like, oh, this is why it's shit. It's not because I haven't done any internal journeying. How's it going with your grief? Oof, am I going to be able to do lives much longer? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I can talk about this sort of stuff. But I'm here to show the way. Okay, let's try. Let's try. Oh, that's a good one. This is much more what I want to talk about. Crazy shit like this. Oh, I don't know. That's it. Do birds singing in the morning manifest the day into reality? Who knows? But it's beautiful if it is because I just love birds so much. Oh, I love them singing so much. I don't think so, but who knows? Cosmic, great question. Way better than like, are we in a simulation? Which I understand, I've been through it all. I'm really not knocking it, but also I have to put it because it is of the fear, it is of the giving away responsibility. Yeah, it looks like streaming at 3 a.m. is the way forward. Yes, I think this is fairly on the lines. I think the collective consciousness is a big deal. This is why they predictive program all the time. And so it seems that, those who have really studied this stuff, it seems that those, the powers that shouldn't be aren't able to manifest or create things themselves. you know, reptiles essentially, or greys or dark souls or something along those lines. And they need us to manifest it through the collective consciousness. So yeah, obviously you can also manifest your own reality, and I would like to think I'm proof of that, or proof of someone who's on that journey and, you know, is seeing the effects of it. I decided to purchase a speaker in order to train my neighbor, just like training a dog. Oh, this is the guy that's, oh, great. Thanks for the update. I'm really enjoying this story. So for those who have been on the lives, this guy is getting poisoned by his neighbors next door and their air fresheners and bleach drifting into his house. He's tried to speak to him about it and they've spazzed out. I've decided to purchase a speaker in order to train my neighbor just like a dog, which is what they need. I'm totally with you so far. Every time she sprays, VOCs, what did you call them again? It was something like NPC. You had a great name for them, as in what they're spraying. I will introduce a negative stimulus by playing drum and bass. I think that is fantastic. Oh, this world is so funny. Fuck me, I need to sort my posture out. This is very hard to do and not ruin my neck. The lights are so dangerous, which is why I'm doing everything. I mean, even now, like, so the minute I moved in here, I sent the guy a text straight away saying, you know, you have to bring me a lamp. There's no way I'm sitting under that LED white fucking. They have the worst lights ever in Southeast Asia. They're just vile. Like, obviously, it's all about economy, innit? So they just have these massive bulbs that light up the whole area with white, blue, disgusting light. And of course, they're so desensitized, like they've no idea. So I'm like, can you bring me a lamp? And he brings me, look at this. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, this is going to be, you know, just, you know, obviously I was hoping for an amber light. But it's, you know, it's still white light, but at least I can point it at the wall rather than it raining down on me. But yeah, the fact that they're in everything, every charger, every speaker, everything, you know, of course. Of course they're very bad for you. Are you trying to be funny? Or do you not think I'm a Yorkshireman? I don't even get it. And look at you pretending that you don't fucking want the 8 inches. It's really 7.5. Tom, I mean, you're so desperate, Sophie. Like, you would take anything. Like, oh my God, you're hot. You're still in the love addict sphere. You're still in the, like, you know, you have let this go a little bit in your comments, probably because, you know, I've reflected this to you so many times. But, you know, at first, all your comments were, I need a man, I'm lonely. You know, just, and I so relate to it from my 20s, where my whole focus was on the getting a partner because, you know, to fill the holes in me, basically. Like, you're so desperate. Your energy is so desperate. I've only ever met one other woman who had the same level of desperate energy. She's been on my YouTube, actually. Like, proper OGs might remember Debbie, Virgin Gym. We went for a meal together. Great woman. Like, great woman. When I first met her, she was a customer at the doggy den, the dog crash. And when she walked in, and this was before I was conscious, I was like, with her desperate energy, like just desperate. I could just feel it a mile off. Like, I couldn't even look at her in the eyes because I knew if I looked at her in the eyes, she'd fall in love with me. And this was nothing to do with me. Like, it could be any man. And, you know, we spoke. Like, the reason she's so great is because we became friends. She's a cleaner. She started cleaning my house. And then we really became friends when I came back to England. And this is like 10 years later after she was a customer. And she could take these reflections, which was, you know, why she's a special one. And she's done a lot of, she hasn't really, well, no, she has. I introduced her to Kim, who's also been on my YouTube, who's somewhat of a healer. She's a healer for normies. And God, my leg is so much better. Wow. I can touch my knee without pain. That's incredible. Oh, God, that's just amazing. So through working with Kim and my strong reflections, she no longer just throws herself at every man. But yeah, I've never experienced anything like it before I met her, and I feel like you have the same energy. Ah, I've actually just got a sponsorship. Tom, you should look into buying a pair of True Dark blue light blocking glasses, red one. I wear them every night. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So I have owned many pairs of these. I think I first bought my first pair maybe 7 years ago, something like that. But I always lose them because my life has shifted so much, from Sheffield to community centre to fucking all over Asia. So I think the last pair I had, I lost in Thailand. But you're so right. But I've just been given a sponsorship, which I'm not sure exactly what it is. But it's something along these lines. So it's definitely something you put on your screens. Whether it's also something you put, whether they do glasses as well, I don't know. But yeah, soon you'll be. It's my first sponsor. Actually, I've got four. I've been offered loads of sponsorships, but like Asian wives keep asking me. It's like, how can I possibly, So I've emailed them back and I've said I can do it, but I would have to take the piss out of it. So obviously they're going to say no, but it would actually work. Like I would be able to do a good ad for them, but there's no way I could seriously say, guys, here's this website where you can meet an Asian woman, like without like obviously pointing out that you must be a love addict to do it. You must be fucking desperate to do it. But I would make it funny, and I think it would actually work for them, but they won't go for it. So and I get just loads of fucking crap. But there are three on the table at the moment that would work. But two of them, no one's going to care about. They're just, they throw like this is nothing special. Like Saley, fucking, they throw it at every YouTuber. So that's the SIM card, the travel SIM card, and I just can't even be asked because I just don't think anyone's going to sign up to it. And I only get like a 5 or a tenner, but maybe I should. But this screen one is the first one. Well, there is another one actually where they've offered me like this massage machine, but I'm just like, well, I can't carry it around with me. So until I get settled somewhere, there's not much point. But yeah, this screen protector one, or not protector, this anti-blue light one, I'm like, whoa, that's the first one that's really aligned. Like, yeah, let's do that one. Kilks, what's that? Is this in regard to your grieving? I wasn't really expecting a change, just more like an expression of feeling. But yeah, it sounds like obviously it's still very intense and raw and new. Oh my God, somebody I know died yesterday. 38, 37. So I went to school with a compulsive liar. Like I've never seen anything like it. James Tomlinson, he was called. Quite an unfortunate kid. And he just lied constantly, like ridiculous lies. Like there's no point. Like I he's my only real. Well, I mean, I know everyone is lying to themselves all the time and living a lie, but this kid, like, he just told ridiculous lies. Like obviously it was to get attention. Obviously it was because he didn't feel good enough. Like I can see all that. And he ended up just not coming to school after the age of 14. So he obviously had a lot of issues. But he had this younger brother that people had quite a lot of hope for. Like he was a bright lad, and he was quite like James was ugly. Like he had this big round pan face. He was unfortunate. He really was. And but Simon was good looking and very bright. James wasn't bright either. Like it really was like it was as if God said, you can have this much beauty and this much intelligence in your children, and it all went into Simon, and James got none. And Simon keeled over and died yesterday. So I assume it's just horrendous. And then mum is so lovely. I mean, obviously she's a libtard and all that, but she's such a lovely woman. Her husband is in a care home with dementia. She's like 60. Her husband's in a care home with dementia and has been for like a decade. her older son James actually turned out doing all right. He's I think he's got a steady partner and a steady job. And then this wonder kid ended up as a massive gambling addict and is now dead. That poor woman, man. I don't think it was a bug. I don't. You know, you've got. You know. Right. So my videos are totally authentic. The title's potentially not quite so much. You know, but YouTube is a game. It is a game, and you have to. You know, the title is so important. So whilst I don't, you know, I think we'll be truthing it because there will have been animals in that wax for sure. But you know, what level of animals? You know, like are we talking like one cell animals, or you know, it's not like a bug, like a crawling bug that you can see with your eyes. I don't think. But you know, I'm sure there was something in it. But no, it was just a massive ball of wax, really, from a you know, in terms of like, I think what you mean by bugs. Ask you what? Okay, good. Glad to hear that. Next is mushrooms. Neither anymore. I haven't drank, you know, I've had the odd pint at an airport, but, you know, essentially I haven't really drank since I stopped going to a football. Can I remember what year I stopped going to a football? I mean, it's got to be 7 years ago now. So yeah, I haven't drank, I certainly haven't been drunk for 7 years. In the last 7 years, I probably had 10 pints, something like that. I currently just have 2 roll-ups a day, maybe 3, all in the evening. What is that, the green herbs? No, I wouldn't touch the stuff. Fear, fear, control, control. Why would I take any psychedelic magical plant that's created by God because it might, you know, because I live, you know, like you work in an office and you took the jib jab. Like, what are you scared of risking? What are you like? What are you scared of? Like, your life's horrendous. Like, there's no risk. There's no risk. It can only get better. Like, what are you holding on to? Why are you so stupid? Ugh. Todd. Nice one. Very good. Okay, so let's do. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm quite enjoying it. So I've done my hour. Half an hour has been paid for by Mickey Mouse, the legend. So we're going to do another 26 minutes unless somebody puts in a tenner. And then we'll do 2 hours. Hey, Tom, try intermittent fasting. Skip the breakfast and smoothies until after 12 p.m. Do your nature works while fasting. That belly will be gone. No, it was posture because I basically do that. Yeah, I never so I basically have a smoothie at usually about 2 in the afternoon, and then I eat maybe about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it's changed a lot recently, and so I was probably now I would eat at 8 p.m. But before, when I was smoking, I would probably eat up till 10, 11 p.m. So that would mean, yeah, I was intermittent fasting for 12 hours even when I was smoking. So now it's even more. Now it's, you know, I'm not trying to do it. It's just naturally the way I live. So if I eat at 8 p.m., 4 hours, 10 hours, 16 hours, I basically don't eat for. Yeah, cacao. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to ditch for coffee soon. Now that I'm not smoking, I don't need it. I mean, I do need it, but I won't do soon, I don't think. It's still a strong pattern. I still, you know, it's no, bear in mind, you know, when I say not smoking, we're talking what, 3 days, 4 days? I think today's day 4. So, it's all very new. But I have noticed so much difference in my need for coffee in the morning. Like before, I couldn't do anything without 2 cups of coffee. Now I just enjoy a coffee in the morning, and I notice, but I don't think I need it anymore. And cacao is such a wonder drink. It's magical, and it's heart opening. You're so right. Oh my God, I so need to get some cacao. Like scientifically, it opens your heart. It pumps more. Your heart pumps 25% more blood or something after it. And I forget the names of the not chemicals. What word is it? I'm going to say properties, but there's a much better word. Is it bromide or I forget, man. I used to sell cacao, so I used to, have all the fucking spiel, but I've forgotten it. But yeah, it's just got incredible heart opening and very healthy, full of magnesium. Oh my God, you're so right. I'm gonna find some cacao today. It might be hard in this village. I think it's gonna be very hard in this village, and I'm not going back to Gillette today. Fuck that. I've done that the last 2 days to work with a body worker, and yeah, I am not leaving this village for 3 days now. Did you stoop a lot because you're no? It's trauma. It's trauma. So when you see people like this, it's hard, man. It depends what level you want to talk about it on. Like, I mean, I think it could also be demonic attachments and stuff like that. But um, it's trauma. It's trauma in the muscle. I mean, I've explained it all, and it's just lost on you. So there's no point. Oh, really? Can't use that word either. I use spoon. That's quite good. YouTube also has that on its watch list. It's interesting because, so if I'd never used these words, like, where would English refugee be at? Like, I kind of assumed that it was okay because it seemed to be doing okay, but, maybe actually it would have done way better if I'd never used those words. But then you've got to balance up, like, play and fun. We've gone cosmic. With algorithms. Like, do I care? I'm earning enough money as it is. Do I need to hit 100,000 subscribers, or is that just my ego? Like, obviously, that's my ego. But then also, that means the message is getting to more people. So, I don't know, man. All I know is everything's fine and I love life. Thanks, Sophie. Yeah, it's all right. Bummer that, isn't it? Deb's devastated. There's actually a list. Send me a link. Actually, no. I can just search it myself. That's extorting my responsibility and expecting others to serve me. And Lee is serving me greatly without being a dog's body, like getting this for YouTube. So forget that one, Lee. Very good. Surely that would be okay. The normies won't get it though. Or they'd be like, oh, he can't speak, like, because they're so desperate to project, so they'll just kid themselves with anything. So they'd think that I wasn't aware of what I was doing. They go to the levels of thinking that I make up that I get frustrated with noise just to make content. Like, this is how much they project, because they can't let the message in. If they acknowledge that I'm authentic, then they have to question themselves, i.e., why am I not authentic? And they can't do it. So they'll even go to the levels of being like, he's making up that he's miserable or that he doesn't like noise just for content. That's crazy. I'm really interested. I mean, I assume they'll just disappear. Obviously, they'll never acknowledge or take responsibility. So there's part of me that's interested in how they'll respond to the change in content, which is basically happening now, but certainly happens in a week. i.e. much more positive. Oh, there's still lots of moaning though, actually. No, there's still plenty of moaning when the city rats come at the weekends. But there's clearly a shift in vibration, although obviously they won't call it that. They'll just call it happier. So it'll be interesting, but I think they'll just all disappear because they can only watch if they can project onto it that I'm unhappy or mental or crazy or some other silly normie projection. Turd wipes. Come on, surely we can use turd wipes. That's so good. I like turd wipes. I like insults that won't get you into trouble, like "what a dozzle old slot" or "shut it, you bloody dragnet." Yeah, it's actually so much more intellectual as well. It's really cool. I really like it. I'm definitely going to lean into this. I really keep the suggestions coming. Make sure you like the video while you do it, and send me some money. And yes, I really agree. So, have you had to call anyone yet? It doesn't look like it. Tom, have you ever met anyone who genuinely has reached a full acceptance in the presence of normie behavior without anger, frustration, energy drain, and a week of solitude to recover? I don't think so. Let me, no. I was chatting to, so if, the most enlightened people I've met, like, let's say 7 people, Lee is one of them. And in our conversation today, he spoke about spending 5 hours with somebody and he didn't say this negatively. He didn't say this with any judgment. He just acknowledged the fact that after it, he was exhausted. So I'm pretty certain the answer to that is no. I mean, it's impossible to, I mean, energetically, I just don't think it's possible because if your energy's here and their energy's here, like, I think just how energy works, like there's gonna be this, if you like, obviously you can keep yourself. This is why wise people are so boundaries and just don't let tard wipes in. Oh no, you can't say that. What was it? Oh god, I'm bad at this. I think the minute you do this, then the energy is going to flow. And especially because most of them won't receive it as well. Like, that's the worst part. Not only do you give them this gorgeous high vibrational energy, they don't fucking take it. Like, look at Sophie, man, thinking she knows better. Like, it's just so frustrating. It's a nightmare. But which is why you can't let them in. You just can't let them in. Jesus said it like this: "Don't give pearls to swine." It's very true. Oh, you live in Thailand? Wow, that's great. I didn't realize you were that cool. Well done. And well done for giving up your stamp. Good on you, man. That is, wow, that's really leaning into trust. That's great. I'm just amazed you were even up at this time. Thanks for joining us, Lee. So this is the level of projection I'm talking about. Like, how can you watch this live and be like, this is a grumpy guy? Like, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? But it's the only way they can see the world. They hate, when you're grumpy and miserable, it's very hard to acknowledge what other people aren't. Who are we talking about now? Not sure what you're referring to. I agree that cryptocurrency was created by the CIA and is completely controlled. However, everything is. So you've got to put your money in something. And for me, gold and Bitcoin are the best too. So the fact that it was created by the CIA from a financial point of view is probably a good thing. I mean, it means it's guaranteed to. Well, it doesn't necessarily, but if we're assuming that it's basically going to, I mean, I think it's been used to introduce the idea of online money, basically. But I do think it's going to go to millions. I do think it's worth owning from a financial perspective. I also think gold is, for me, it's gold and Bitcoin would be where I would put any spare money I had. Property is obviously the other one that is worth considering, except I think you'll own nothing and be happy. But of course, they can see all of that. So yeah, I mean, essentially, you just have to learn to trust and know that you will always be provided for if you are aligned. And yeah, that's it really. But then of course there has to be practicality as well. So right, if I got 100 grand now, what would I do? I'd buy a Tesla machine, that's 11 grand. I'd buy a sauna if I was settled, that's 2 grand. I think they're the only material items that I wish for, other than some Vivo shoes. And good coffee. Or cacao. So I think I'd put the rest into gold and Bitcoin. But I totally agree. Not read. I don't read. Well, I think I'm about to start reading. I try. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. Oh, it's so annoying. So my bodyworker introduced a new concept the other day to me about heat and cold, and so basically it's like the Eastern way of thinking about the body. And I haven't read this book yet, so I can't really say more than that. But how certain parts of your body are meant to be cold and certain parts of your body are meant to be hot. And I was like all in. I totally trust what she's saying. And she showed me this book, and then she gave it me. She was like, "You can have it." And I was like, "Wow, this is obviously meant to be, and this book is going to be some incredible knowledge." And I start reading the first page, and he's like, "As I'm writing this book, we are in the middle of the pandemic, and they are rushing for the jibby jabby to save lives." Like totally believes it all. So I'm like, how can I possibly take medical advice from somebody who fell for that? Anyway, I brought this up with her today, and she says, "Well, just don't read the first half, just read the second half." But I'm like, yeah, but how can you trust he's not like? How can you trust him when he's like clearly a whatever the new word is, poo wipe? What was it? So I'm really struggling. But then also the whole "don't chuck the baby out with the bathwater" thing is coming up for me, and it's like there's clearly a lot in this hot and cold thing because it's a big part of her therapy. And it's like, I'm sure if I could just dismiss that bit of that massive blind spot, that there'd be something in it for me. There'd be, I think it's a challenge for me because I'm so like dismissive. I'm so like the minute I see utter idiocy, I just write off. And maybe that's to my detriment. Maybe I should start seeing that even if people are very conditioned, repressed, and stupid, that if he has studied that one thing, which it appears he has, by which I mean the hot and cold thing, but he may still be an expert in that. But just how can you be so distorted? How can you be so disaligned and then know something that's like beyond the common consciousness? I don't know if I can do it, but basically all that was to say I'm going to start reading. But I've listened to a lot of Nietzsche. I mean, he's spot on. He's just great. They all are, like Demetrius or something like that. So I listened to a channel called I think there's one called Temple Nomad, and I'm getting to the point where that doesn't really serve me anymore. It's a bit too basic. It's a bit too like, it's great for like Sophie and most people in this chat. And it's been great for me. Like it's only the last 2 weeks where I'm like, I'm not sure about this anymore. So it's very like, you know, don't let people bother you, stand in your power, basically. But like, it's very psychological. Another one I listen to a lot is Stoic Journal, but that's starting to become the same. It's just like, well, this is fucking obvious. You're just repeating what I already know. But you know, these have really been great channels for me over the last few months. So these two channels mention all of these scholars over and over again and quote them over and over again. And every quote I've ever heard from Nietzsche is absolutely spot on, in my opinion. Any system that takes even 1% of your earnings is slavery. It's all that exists now. You are looking. Oh my God! Sorry, guys. You are following man's law or God's law now. Which is it to be? I really like the second part of that. I almost agree with the first part. However, right, so let's say we lived in an ideal world, and obviously that's going to look different to many people, but essentially I am of the understanding that basically when a community goes over 100, it starts to disintegrate. You know, that's certainly from a tribe perspective. So ideally for me, the ideal world would be everyone has their own land, everyone works for land, and we live in very small communities. And you know, maybe we trade with a community over there, and maybe, you know, maybe there's relationships with other communities and yada yada yada. But essentially, you're living in groups of 100, and obviously you all look the same, and you all have the same belief system and all that. So we're in a community of 100, they're in a community of 100, they're in a community of 100, and we all get on and we all know about each other, and we share ideas and we share products and all that. But we have our fires every night with our 100, and we're going to want some sort of medical care, right? Well, of course, we're all enlightened, so we don't need a hospital. But what about accident and emergency? You do need accident and emergency. You don't need any of the rest. You just need apocalypse and herbalists and body workers and, you know, real healers. But you do need accident and emergency. So we're going to want to create not a hospital like we have now, but let's not even use that word. Somewhere where we can heal broken bones. Well, that's going to require us pooling together some of our resources, is it not? So I would suggest that actually a functioning society needs, you know, it wouldn't be tax. It wouldn't feel like tax because you would see it directly benefiting the community. So it would be, I would use the term, it would be more of a pooling of the resources to create some roads, some bone broken menders. So I think 1% is about right. What do you think to that, Grid Shifters? No. Oh. You're gonna have to help me out a bit because you know them more than I do. So trading cap, yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like anyone needs culling so far. Cause she's stupid, and lives in fear. Yeah, we can't believe any of their stats. Oh God, if that's true, that's just devastating. I've kind of always worked on the 80-20 principle seems to just run through this life. So I've always worked on it was about 80%. But it's really hard for me because I was at that time, you know, I was running this conscious community, and so in my world it was just my parents, and then like the the demons beyond the Shire, but who obviously I don't interact with. But yeah, maybe it is, man. If that's true, then that's just horrendous. So bad, man. Yeah, same, man. You are you're pretty impressive. The only reason I started questioning where you were at is because you get involved with all the normie, boring stuff. But you are, you know, you live in Thailand and you didn't even take a test. Like, yeah, I mean, oh my God, it really is like you create the existence you deserve. So you create, you know, if you worked in an office, you may, you know, this whole I had to take the jib jab for my job. Like, no, you didn't. Stop being such an impoverished slave. But you know, if your job is saying take the test, again, really, I'd like to think I would have said no. It's so hard for me to even comprehend having a job. So this is so hypothetical. It's unbelievable. But you know, I hadn't had a job since I very briefly had a job around the age of 21. But other than that, I'd have to go back to like 17 or something like that. What we're we talking about? Yeah, me too, mate. Never wore a mask. Never took a test. Oh, bless you. Never did any of it. Never did any of it. I socialized way more in lockdown than I've ever socialized in my life. It was amazing. Honestly, running that shadow work center, or you know, in lockdown, it was a community center because even normies who weren't stupid enough to fall for that shit, but are still normies, they joined us as well. So in lockdown, so we were members only, so that we could give people a code, so that they could, so the doors were always locked, and they'd have a code, and they could come in and out. So we were just, you know, doing everything from shadow work, and at that time we were even doing normie stuff because obviously the pubs were closed. So we replaced the pub basically. We didn't allow alcohol, but we did like what do you call it? Not quiz nights, not talent shows. What do you call it? Where people get on stage and do shit, whatever they want. Can't remember what you call it. I can't believe I'm missing it. That's so ridiculous. So so we were popping like a bit. So during lockdown, we had like I can't remember, but hundreds of members, and I thought we'd made it. And then obviously the pubs open and 90% of them disappear. Like it's just unbelievable. There was something else around that. Oh yeah, so obviously the police knew what we were doing and they kept trying to get in, and we were just like warrant. And then they did come with a warrant. And we were doing one of these, why can't I, what are they called? Open mic nights. We were doing an open mic night. And so they turn up with a warrant. So our system was, so obviously we knew this was going to happen one time. So we managed to get rid of them like 20 times, but we knew one time they were going to come with a warrant. Oh, no, it wasn't a warrant. They came with a health and safety. Oh, you know, this is how they get you. This is how disgusting it is. So you can't turn away a health and safety inspector. You can turn away police if they haven't got one, but you can't turn away a health and safety inspector. So they came with a health and safety inspector saying they needed to look at our kitchen. So we couldn't turn them away. So we had a protocol for this. So my mate would deal, my business partner would deal with them at the door because he was, you know, stronger than me. And I would organize all the plebs. Sorry, all the customers. Sorry, all the tribe. And all three are true, depending on the person. So what we would do is we'd get everyone. So the building was massive; it was 8,000 square foot. So we'd send people off. So this night, this open mic night, we probably had 100 people there. We'd send people off into different areas of the building in groups of 10, and they'd sit in a circle 2 meters apart, and they would be mental health support groups. So they come in with this health and safety inspector. They don't even look at the kitchen. Obviously, they're not interested in that. And it's so funny because we've got like lights on the stage and we've got a mic on the stage and there's all seating out. Like it's so obvious what we were doing. But everyone's off in mental health support groups. So I'm like, hello, officer. This is a pregnancy support group. This is a women's support group. This is a men's support group. This is a breathe, you know, not breath work because I just said all normie things, but and they were just like, right, like they knew we were lying, obviously, but they couldn't do anything. So much fun, so much fun. It was great. But when lockdown ended, that business became hard work and just awful. Not awful. Like, I learned a lot. It was worth it. Thank you so much, Miss Kamzul, regular contributor, doesn't even ask a question, just wants to give. Amazing. Fantastic. If we can get another £6, then, oh, right, it is time to end. So I will keep going for 10 more minutes. If we can get another £6 in those 10 minutes, then I'll keep going till at least 2 hours, maybe a bit longer. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's definitely over 50%. It's just, is it 94%? Ooh, I hope not. I mean, we really are over as a race if that's the case. I mean, what does it do to, like, even if some of them survive, which I don't think they will for much more than 5 years. Now, I am a great believer in different batches. I've seen a scientist like break down different batches, and like he's like, this batch, 75% of the people that had this batch are no longer with us. 5% of the people who had this batch are no longer with us. So I do think there's something in that. But what does it do to offspring? Like, that's the next one, isn't it? Can you even have offspring? And if you do, what are they going to be like? And then there's also the nanotech element. You know, are they all going to turn into zombies when they do whatever they're going to do with those 5G towers? No, it's not. I'm responding to you. Of course it's not pre-recorded, you absolute poo wipe. What was it, Debs? Oh my God. I mean, to be fair, but you've probably written all this before I've answered you, to be fair, but. Ooh! How would you pre-record a live with people asking questions? I don't get it. Like, it would have had to have been live at some point to get the questions. And then why would I not have just had it live rather than. It just makes no sense. I just don't understand how you're so stupid. Oof. It's a lot better than 94%, I suppose. So is that the official, what they tell us? That feels about right to me. You didn't have to for work. You know, they told you had to, and you're so in fear that you crumbled. But what would have happened if you didn't was the universe would have shown you a way. You would have been provided for. The universe rewarded everyone that was sovereign. But it might not have looked, you know, it would have been challenging, you know, because essentially what it was a great shedding of BS. So if you stood in your power in that time, your life changed, and a lot of BS fell out of your life. But instead, you crumbled out of fear, which is understandable, and therefore your life carried on being BS. But had you not have done that, I promise you, you would have been provided for. You might have lost a lot of conditioning around materialism, and you know you might not have been as affluent, but you also wouldn't have needed all the crap that you think you need. So it's not true. You didn't have to do it. You had a decision, and you made the wrong one. However, I can understand how the fear got to you and why you made that decision out of fear. I don't give a crap who knows it or what they think about it. It's not changed the way. Well, keep telling yourself that, mate. Good luck. And I do mean keep telling yourself that. It's probably best to stay deluded at this point, because if you wake up now, you're gonna, woof, it's gonna be very bad. Oh yeah, you don't actually have much power. You can't block. I don't think I don't think moderators can. You know, I would happily give you that power. So I think if I remember right, what happened? I don't actually know. Me and Lee were trying to work it out the other day. I think you have timeout, and I think you have hide. Is that right? Um, so I think timeout is literally a timeout for a period of time, which I don't know if you can set or not. I think hide removes them from just this live. I don't think you can remove them from the channel completely. So that gives you a lot of free reign. You know, it doesn't really, you know, if you do hide someone who is actually a good one, It's not like you're removing them from the channel. So so yeah, feel free to slay. Yeah, the honest answer is I don't actually know. You can definitely hide people from the chat. It's well, we're learning, man. It's all good. We'll get there. Really? They're made in Vietnam? That's incredible. I wonder if they're sold here, though. I wouldn't think they'd be sold here because there's just no market for it. Like the people, you know, they're just nowhere near stuff like that. Okay, Mickey, tell us how it works. Oh my God. I'm getting rid of this one. She's just too stupid. Let's just do a timeout. I've never done a timeout before. Oh, it doesn't give you any options on the time. Plebeians, that's a good one. That was great, wasn't it? Wow, we're way behind. That's an interesting question. What would happen if every child from now was born with Down syndrome? I mean, it would be a beautiful world, but would anything get done? Would I don't know. Like, I don't think they'd be capable of. I don't know. Maybe they would. Like, I mean, it would obviously be a very primitive life, but I think that's a much more beautiful life. So I think we could just about, if we were all that, then I think we could just about manage building huts and growing food, which is all you really need. I think it would be much better than it is now for sure. But you know, that's a very low bar. Yeah, of course you can't. You're conscious. Like no conscious being can deal with white, blue light. Like, it's so obvious. Like you can feel it. But these people, you know, they cut you off from your senses with lies straight away. And obviously like cutting the umbilical cord too early, not leaving the placenta attached, just being born into white light. And then I know you guys hate it, but the spinning ball is a massive one because it stops you from trusting your senses. You know, if you are able to intuit, but forget intuition, if you're able to just feel and your five senses are switched on, you know you're not upside down and you know you're not spinning around and you know you're not hurting that way. It's very obvious that we're still very obvious. So so yeah, so if you allow them to do that to you, then you don't even notice when you're being zapped by white light. Like it's incredible, but you know, they believe we live on a spinning ball and we're upside down, so what can you do? I don't think he does. I don't really know the answer, but I think he can literally just click on three little buttons on everyone's. So on like next to your name would be three little buttons, and I think he gets two options, which are either hide or timeout. Nah, it wouldn't be enough, mate. I mean, it's you know, it's correct, but it's you know, I just can't have it on. I can't have it on. Like it's you know, I even like the fan. You might just be able to see that red light. But I've covered it up so you can't really see it. But so even the fan has three massive, and at least they're red. But like, I don't want any light when I'm sleeping. What are you talking about? Don't be so stupid. So I've wrapped my shorts around the fucking fan. So yeah, there's just no way. Like I would rather sit in pitch black than have that on. But even this is not great. But at least it's not shining at me. Are we there? Are you? You sound stressed. Don't let it stress you out, mate. Like there aren't even any demons in. I can call them. even if we don't call them, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares? Like, they can just demon out. But it's nicer to not have them in, and that's why I made you a mod. But it's not like the end of the world if it's takes a little while to learn what's going on. Okay, I think we've answered this. That is the case. Don't expect any more. Right, I'm gonna come down a bit faster and catch up. But I'm only gonna do another 5 minutes if I get no more money. Is that aimed at me? I'm seeing this as my morning, so because I went to bed early, so I'm drinking coffee because this is my morning. Fantastic. Just fantastic. What a wonderful man. Yeah, if you're not listening to Alan Watts or you've never listened to Alan Watts, then you're not listening to anything. Okay, what time is it for me? Shall I end the stream? Is it going to be light soon? If it's 11 o'clock for you, add 6. Oh, it's 5. It must be about 5 a.m. now. Can only be an hour away from light. Oh, we're doing another half hour. Oh, bless you. Toward your next pummeling with the healing lady. It's such a pummeling, man. She's so brutal. I think in today's, I even shout out. So obviously, this is being a child. This is the trauma speaking. I even go away to her. So that pays for a third of a session with her because obviously it's Vietnam prices. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, great. So let's do 2:15 until 2:15, unless someone puts some more money in. Then we'll do a bit longer. Maybe, probably, definitely. Oh, I think it was more than that. I mean, people were testing plums and they were coming back positive, and I don't think they were even. I mean, what are they testing? Did any of it ever exist? I would suggest not. As a joke, YouTube, obviously. Yeah, I mean, they were just a joke. They were, I think, about penetrating the blood-brain barrier. The pandemic tests. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it all, but that's definitely true. Yeah, that's where I'm at. But if you were already self-employed, I mean, I agree. I totally agree. But you've also got to understand the mentality of an enslaved person. It was a lot easier if you were already self-employed. Look at the fear in this one. Somewhere in East Asia, they kidnap Westerners and lock them up in mental research facilities. I think that goes on more in the West. I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all out here, but I don't think it does. But I think that probably happens in the West. The West is so much more dangerous, because the government is more established, and obviously they're very evil. Yeah, exactly. The creator, the inventor of that test, said it can't be used for this. This isn't what it's designed for. Yeah, I can't quite remember it so long, but it was a particles per minute or something, wasn't it? It was about finding particles, And he basically said, if you you can create a setting on it where it will find anything. You know, it will find a speck of anything. It means nothing. It wasn't designed to pick up on viruses, which some people, obviously not me, but some people claim they don't even exist. And it is interesting because they've never been able to isolate one or show us one. But of course they exist because they say it exists, and you've got to believe the science. Because science is now a religion. It's not what science used to be, which was empirical and data-based and was always evolving. No, no, no. It's now a set religion that fits in with liberalism. It's very interesting how it's changed. But of course, just believe it, people. Don't ask any questions. Yes. Yes, I will get there. Absolutely. It's happening. The Balkans, East Europe, that's Eastern Europe, right? I'm going to East Europe next. I'm going to move on from the test stuff. I think we've covered that. Oh, someone's being called. Oh, no, that was me. I can block. Yeah, I can block. There is a way you can block, Tom. I've had plenty of experience of you chobbers blocking me. Yeah, I can block, but the moderators can't. Oh, Sophie's experiencing synchronicity. My goodness. I had a weird synchronicity in the park, meeting a woman dressed in dark clothes. She told me to stay on the right side and was talking in terms of the spiritual war we are in. Great. What's the right side? Is in the correct side. I mean, you can't stay in it if you're not in it. First, you've got to get in it. Now I'm wondering, do you think the lefts are demons? Oh yeah, so you're in duality, you're in politics, you're in left, right. Like anyone who is of politics is possessed. And we're all, you know, unless you're very, 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 very balanced and aligned, I think we all have attachments. So anyone who's talking in left and right dualistic paradigms is you know, very low in consciousness. But obviously, within that paradigm, absolutely anyone who is left-leaning is completely possessed. But also rightly, anyone who even pays attention to politics is possessed. That's interesting. Left brain thinkers have a thought process more akin to a flow chart. No intuition, no soul, and no idea why. This guy, I think, is definitely way wiser than me, and probably more enlightened. Right, so how's this one stuck through? Like, why are we just letting people like this in? You know, it's just boring. You know, it's getting light. Why is he not being called? He has now. The only purpose of government is continuance of government. You need to be oppressed through fear at all times of work. Bro, you do have a YouTube channel, is that right? Bro, you need to be speaking, man. Like whether it's YouTube or writing or something, like you need to be speaking to the masses. I have studied the ways of satanic control system for about 4 decades. Yeah, there you go. So I've been doing this shit 10 years. Not even that. Not even that. So this is someone who's been doing it for 40 years. It's so clear to me, yet so camouflaged. It's profane. Weepat Shug, how do we hear your wisdom? Do you have a YouTube channel? What's going on? Just got to that point. Thank you very much again. Have you noticed that I've been able to sit for much longer this time? I don't think I could sit for more than an hour last time. Honestly, it's unbelievable. Like each session, like it's profound changes both in trauma release, and then linked to that, physical posture. However, I do think we're getting to a point where I need to lie down. But yeah, almost 2 hours. Let's go through the 2. Oh, pull your ass in. Pull your diaphragm in. And breathe. Okay. I'm getting there, mate. I am going faster. But if I go to the very bottom, you know, you've not experienced this. In my experience, if you go to the bottom, then you're waiting for comments, and then you can't just constantly riff. So I think this is the only way to do it, but I am still learning. Yeah, I don't think it was a very wise person. It's not, you know, it's not. Well, you know, you get what you need, so maybe it meant something to you. You know, maybe you're still, well, you are still a libtard. You know, I know you intellectually you think you're not, but I see it in the way you live your life. You know, you're still programmed by feminism. So so yeah, maybe for you, just like, you know, maybe I can't remember else. I'm at the bottom. You see, and now it's ended. So this is why I don't go to the bottom of the comments. Oh. This is the book that I mentioned earlier. Let me read you the first page and you'll see why I stopped reading it. I wrote this book in the middle of and in response to the pandemic. This situation has caused great upheaval, pain, and suffering, but we are all in the process of learning an important lesson. We must defend and protect our health, not only for ourselves, but our families and communities. Doing it for grandma, safe and effective. I added rabbit. It was shocking to see the pandemic bring all of humanity to a standstill in a matter of months, even affecting the inhabitants of the Amazon rainforest. I don't think it did. I think the government affected them by jib-jabbing them. One of the Earth's most remote regions. I felt a need to offer something to the world to bring health and healing to people. I wrote this book out of a desire to help and protect people. And then it goes on to say, like, we're racing to get the jib jab, and so then I gave up. And what do you do with that? But my healer, who is incredible, fucking says there's deep wisdom in that book. So I'm going to try and, for the first time in my life, not completely dismiss something due to, let's just call it a blind spot. But, you know, it feels more than that. The synchronicities of meeting that woman to talk to through those, yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, just the fact that you're seeing things as synchronistic is great. To talk through was weird because I was on a run and the only reason I had to stop was to tie my shoelace, and that was the reason she spoke to me. Yeah, I mean, there's probably something in it for you. Like, what do you think's in it? I'm not sure what that is. I'm boring. I can't believe that's true, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're monotone? Like, that's okay. You have deep wisdom. You know, maybe you're not here to, well, you're clearly not here to entertain. You're beyond entertainment. Like, you're here to teach. So, yeah, you recommended that, is it Torzian or something like that? Put it in the chat for the, can we say plebs? You know, like, he has his place, and it's not entertainment. Like, are you not just going to be like that if you were to speak? Yeah, I'm totally obsessed with myself. It's really good to self-observe, you know. So this is the conditioning, you know. Like we see self-love, self-observation. We've been programmed to believe that that's arrogance, or that that's I mean, arrogance is a really good word, but no one's looking at themselves. No one's doing the work, and it's only by going within and observing the self that we can become enlightened. And of course, the world's going to be better if people are enlightened. So what's happening here is you hate yourself, you're low vibrational, you're living in fear, and you've never gone inside, you're only in the external. So therefore, to you, it seems anyone who's on the self-observation journey is obsessed with self. And yes, I am obsessed with myself. I'm obsessed with bettering myself. I'm obsessed with healing myself. I'm obsessed with being the best version of myself so I can give to others. So you do have a channel. The name of my channel is In Search of Clarity. I like that name. Let's find it. In Search of Clarity. Do, 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. Add to screen. No, that didn't work. What about that? Is this your channel? That doesn't look right. In Search of Clarity. Yeah, the problem is if it's a small channel, which I assume it is, because you don't speak about it as if you have confidence in it. Then all that there's going to be loads of videos that are called right, isn't there? So I don't think any of those are it, are they? Let us know, wee fat shrew. Give me the handle. No, because he's inquiring, so he's projecting. He's idiotic. He's very low vibrational. He's doesn't even understand the concept of self-observation, self-work, enlightenment, yada yada yada. But there is inquiry in there, and so he's going to be super triggered right now, and he's going to be projecting from what I've just said, and he's going to be blocking it all because he's repressed. But there is going to be a part of him that heard it in that subconscious or soul or whatever you want to call it. So no, the soul already knows, subconscious. So who knows? Like, well, it will be the start of his breakthrough. Like, he might be triggered for the next 5 years, but he will have a breakthrough over this. Probably not in the chat tonight, and he probably will, out of his trigger, now need to project stronger and then get offensive, and at that point you can block him. But that's just somebody inquiring from a very, very low place of consciousness. And that's great. We love that. Because that's the only way we learn. Here we go. You guys have fun. Stay logical. There you go. And don't lose yourself. Okay, yeah. You're not for this channel. You're not ready. Go and watch some Bob the Builder. No, go and watch some politics. That's your level. And it will probably be left politics. Well, what changes are you going to make? If you really feel that, then you need to make some changes. What are they going to be? Yeah, so this is the amazing guy that is just very monotone and very boring, but if you're not after dopamine hits, he will teach you a lot. I also put a link to my channel on your Patreon. Yeah, Patreon's not easy to use. I don't, I wish I was more responsive on Patreon, but it's, I have to go onto the website and it's much easier if people just email me. But I really do, now I'm sober, I am going to put more effort into a Patreon. I've just given my Patreon the next 10 English refugee videos. Today I'll give them another 10. So basically my Patreon people are going to be watching, yesterday's video very soon. Good man, protect yourself. The sun's coming up. It's 5 a.m. So happy, man. So happy. Oh, it's on Rumble. Of course it is. Of course it is. Fair enough, mate. It's a wooden house. It's a little hut on a mountain in Vietnam. It's amazing. Okay, so We Fat Shug, if you want some wisdom, is on Rumble, and that's the name of his channel. What did I say I'd do? 2 hours 15, was it? I don't think so. Give me a bit more information. I'm going to go for a poo. Oh, let's draw the curtains! Yay! You got it! Good morning, Mr. Sunshine! Oh, yeah. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Dun. Da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da! How good is that, people? Loving it. Amazing. Amazing. Can you still hear me okay? Oh, we've got Rachel in the house. No, the asshole is good. God, there's so much going on with my asshole at the minute. So we're having big detoxification due to bodywork sessions. Can you still hear me okay? No one's moaning, so I assume so. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a bit unfair on my neighbours. Yeah, so big detoxification is going on. I think I'm releasing a video today where I shit myself in the forest and show you the squirt. So that's interesting. Literally, we're dealing with a lot of womb trauma. So trauma that occurred when I was in my mother's womb, and yeah, like my poos went all baby poo for a while, and then my urine was so dark, like just so full of toxins, and I'd been drinking just as much water, and my pee's never dark because I drink loads of water. So yeah, it's all that, and then her partner taught me. He basically said to me when I told him my deepest, darkest trauma. He basically said to me, right, there's no point. So I'm definitely not enlightened because this guy was like, there's no point me even telling you anything. He was like, there's no point me telling you anything until you learn this. And he taught me to pull my arsehole in to my stomach, obviously not, but energetically and physically, but obviously your arsehole isn't going into your stomach. Like he means tighten all the muscles in your stomach, your diaphragm essentially, pull your diaphragm up. So your arsehole is up, and energetically, you're basically bringing in the root chakra. And then he didn't explain any more than that because he was like, you're not ready. He was like, you just need to master that technique and then come back to me when you have, which I think is, potentially going to be 6 months. So yeah, there's all sorts going on in my arsehole, but no penises. All right, great. Well done. Thanks, mate. Now you're still here. I want to know why you have this disgusting profile picture. So how do we do that? Can I click on your... I don't think I can. Fin 8415. So I want to know if that's you or if you're just an N worshipper. Why isn't it even coming up? Right. Why have you got that awful 2019? So it's a real profile. What is that all about? Why would you have... Look at that nose, man. Oh, God. Horrendous. Is that you? Oof. So I've only blocked 2, I think. And usually it shows the names of the people that the moderator calls, but it's not showing any names. Yeah, he's learning, man. Maybe he has gone a bit overkill, but don't forget, it's only for this one stream. So anyone who's been blocked, who shouldn't have been, will be able to comment on the next one, all the videos. Okay. Don't put any more money in, guys, because I don't want to do any longer. And I really mean that. No, it's Lee, and his name is Tao something, and then this guy. All right, so we're going to do, I said I'd do another 5 minutes, but there's no more comments, so I think we'll probably end it there. The sun is up. Yeah, thanks, guys. A massive thank you to these 3 people. Mickey Mouse, big thanks, brother. Erimus Kamzel, thank you for your very consistent support, and the same consistent support and thanks goes to a tribe called Duff. Big love. See you soon.